blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
Emmerich, I can't believe you want to die and stuff a spirit into your body.
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Look, what about flowers? Wouldn't you miss smelling them as a lich?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them. When?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for Lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to...
No, mercifully, that falls to another watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
I still don't think you should do it, but why haven't you become a lich yet?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! The promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
You could try this and die for good? Your plan keeps getting worse.
You say nothing that hasn't hounded me. Traditionally, candidates for Lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos. She's a lich?
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for Lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of Lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkos avoided?
The spirits of the Necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of Lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations of the soul.
For a watcher, Hezenkos is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous, but how quickly most respond to a bit of kindness or care, or simple attempt to understand. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting Lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's books.
Of course.
But how she's abused her abilities. Are my intentions enough to fare better?
Worrying's a good sign.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you. Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleanor Volkaren. They walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom.
What would they have wanted me to be?
I can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy. You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
He'd be impossible, I agree.
Our scrying has revealed more malign spirits. This haunting, to our chagrin, was once one of our own Fade explorers.
He delved where he should not.
I've heard another landscape has been added to your collection.
There's that haunting Myrna mentioned, the Fate Explorer.
Dear, it's Paul Reldevar. That one's ready.
here, Emmerich.
My pleasure.
Righto! Was strange, even for here.
That was Ernest Reldevar, a scholar who attempted to delve into the deepest regions of the Fade. What's left of the unfortunate man tends to wander.
You got it.
I took care of that Fate Explorer.
We are greatly indebted.
He can now rest for a time.
Our collegial allies in the Fade have informed us of several undead banding together.
They have begun to seek blood.
There are whispers from the levels below.
We shall find them. Arm yourselves. The dead keep watch.
I must say, of all our theories throughout the ages, no one thought ancient elves came from spirits was very likely.
Wait, the Mornwatch knew?
Not at all. It was only one proposition amongst thousands, and not well credited.
You could write a paper for the Watchers, or both both of us could.
What a wonderful idea. Though we'll have some difficulty citing our sources.
Right, I guess Solus's memories are technically a diary?
To other shores. Places between. We've a fighter.
For sure! Oh, we did it!
I see good company.
Behind you! Ready here! We're getting good at this!
There's a haunting.
Hitting us from range! You got it!
Attack from afar! Look right!
attack from afar! Fire the pulse!
Ranged incoming!
Laura, great!
Thanks!
Careful! On your right!
On your right!
The attack from a distance! They're firing at us!
Ready to go. For sure.
They're attacking from afar!
Ranged incoming. Hitting us from range.
They're firing at us! An attack from afar! Come forth, Fade's undying! An attack from afar!
Ranged incoming. Hitting us from range.
Yeah. Weird.
Do you think more spirits could ever become elves?
As our world changes over the ages, so do the Fade's inhabitants. I suspect they'd look quite different.
So not, say, elves with wings, like a bird's or a bat's?
It seems unlikely.
The shrouded halls have been left.
We finished off a whole group of skeletons.
Interesting that they banded together.
It availed them not.
You've news?
Fair omens. Prepare yourselves. The
Careful with that.
But of course.
It's the only lead I've got.
My dear Davron, I'll be as careful with this cloth as if it were burial silk from the Storm Age. And this will be so instructive for Manfred. Ah, Rook, just in time.
Need some help?
Give it a minute. We'll see. That piece of cloth I tore off the Gloom Howler back at the cauldron still has some of its blood on it.
And now, through the application of necromancy, perfected by the Morn Watch through years of meticulous,
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what the Gloom Howler is.
rather discern its nature.
How?
By setting it on fire?
Patience, to discern, one must sometimes destroy. Ah, yes, of course. How interesting.
What is it?
It says this was elven blood. This was a person.
What? But it howls.
A corrupted person. Not always a monster. And something else. Deathsel. I'm unfamiliar with the meaning.
An elven word for covenant, like a promise or a blood oath. I think I get it. An elf who took a vow, then gets blighted. An elf who knew about griffins and warden's secrets.
Almost as if...
It was a warden. It's one of us.
Now it murders our own and kidnaps griffins? It should die a traitor's death.
What would that be?
Extremely painful.
Something else is going on here. I'll put out the word, call in favors, see who might know more. But thanks for your help, Emmerich. You, discerned well.
My pleasure.
This smells amazing. Does all coffee smell like this? Or just the stuff you make?
Coffee has a distinct aroma, if that's what you're asking.
Sorry. It was really rare where I grew up. And expensive.
Is it really a good idea having another coffee addict around here?
It's not really addictive, is it?
You know how Darkspawn are always searching for something? It's coffee.
I don't believe you.
So, Harding, what do you think?
It's... delicious.
Really selling it, Harding.
Hey, I've known some liars, and I am definitely not it. And this stuff, it's good. It's warm.
I won't be upset if you don't like coffee.
He really wouldn't.
I know, but sorry. It's just this thing I do sometimes.
Acting so people will like you?
It sounds terrible when you say it like that. I know I don't need to do it. I just do.
Sounds really healthy when you put it that way.
You must have been pretty tiny as a child.
Where'd that come from?
A tiny dwarven girl in a land of large human farmers.
Oh, yeah. I probably learned pretty quick that things worked out better if people liked me. If they agreed with me, or I agreed with them.
Some people like cream or sugar in their coffee.
Maybe coffee just isn't my thing.
I'd heard of archdemons before, but never one like that.
Honestly, with everything I've heard about Gillenane, I'm glad it wasn't worse. In the legends about her, she's nice. She created the Hala. She guides us to our destination. But if you read between the lines, it's, well, creepy.
Oh, good.
Hey, remember the dragon we were talking about with the lords?
Which one? There were a few in that conversation.
The fire breather that was killing people. Veiljumpers sent word. She's in Arlathan Forest. Destroyed a village and turned it into her new lair. I've got the location from the Veil Jumpers. We can go whenever you want.
Patrols have checked in. They found some more relics.
How are supplies? Run. Don't be shy. Take a gander. Send your friends my way. Tell them Amelia will set them up right.
We might be able to restore that bridge.
Could be a good shortcut. Got company.
Look at this. I bet it came in handy. You have to hand it to the ancient elves. They love their statues. Such craftsmanship. Handmade from stone.
That's enough of that.
Okay. I wonder what this is about.
something over there.
We got it.
Time to finish this room.
Determination is at the shape of your will.
Trap Necropolis spirit. Last one.
I lash my common rage. You fought a petty hates and cracked the heart and burn the soul. Whatever you are, give me my freedom if you can.
I'm ready to go again. Hassan, go!
Watch yourself!
A win.
That's it. The Necropolis door to the demon, the real demon these all came from, should be open.
We know where to go to end it.
This artifact isn't working right. Maybe if I looked at the crystals it's connected to. The person who set this up was in contact with someone or something from the Fade. And another Fen'Harel altar. That's all the crystals. Hopefully that fixes the artifacts. That's a person, or it was, and it came out of the Fade.
Magic's never made sense, but I don't like this kind.
Might be best if we stop tampering. The forest will reclaim it.
All right. The dragon's a fang scorcher that attacked villages. We're close to her lair.
This shouldn't be too bad, right? We fought 2 dragons at once in Hossberg.
The dragons we fought in Hossberg were being ordered around by the gods. They were attack dogs. This is a wolf, a big wolf, fighting in her own territory. Be ready. This is your first real dragon fight.
You said the dragon's a fang scorcher. What are they like?
Fire breather, related to the Ferelden Frostback. Think of her like the dragon version of a bobcat or a fox.
It's a little larger than a bobcat.
I mean, she's small and sneaky for a dragon. Attacks with fire from a distance to soften up her targets. And she's mean. Scorchers hold a grudge longer than my mother.
You said she attacked villages. Are we dealing with another attack in a city like Treviso or Minrathous?
No. Something got her to start hunting a ways off.
Something like what?
Dunno. Hoping we find out while we're here. But right now, focus on taking her down before she kills anyone else. Including us.
Still, even in its lair, this can't be any worse than the Hossberg wetlands, right?
She's a dragon.
It's at least gotta be easier than the archdemon we fought at Weishaupt?
Stay in the trees as long as you can. It's gonna get hot when she sees us. Davrin, you ready for the Fang Scorcher?
The question is whether the Fang Scorcher is ready for me.
You gonna make a little wooden carving of her once we're done?
Just make sure she's bigger than the others.
Hang on. Something's off with that crap up ahead. Let's go up through there on the left instead.
What's wrong?
I don't know. The way that debris is placed doesn't look natural. Or like something a dragon would do.
You're the dragon expert. We'll follow your lead.
So we're gonna fight another dragon, huh?
Shh.